Messi and Inter Miami winning the MLS Cup. They are MLS champions of 2025. So for Messi, this is trophy number 46. There is some debate whether it is 48. But those two that I'm taking out of here is the Eastern Conference that they won this year with Miami. And then also Supercopa trophy that he was not in the squad for. So there's a little debate there. So that's why I am saying 46 here.
Claudia, you've got to be a heck of a player when people lose count of how many trophies you've won.
And you're taking trophies away.
I know, I got to take some trophies away to make it look a little bit better for the rest of us.
It's not as though you've chipped somebody down from 5 to 4. We've gone from 48 to 46.
The World Cup still counts, right?
The World Cup still counts.
MLS Cup still counts.
I haven't taken those out.
Okay.
Don't worry, Nico.
I want to make sure.
The celebrations that you saw from Messi, you can tell that this means something to him. Because even when he came, people were like, is he coming for fun? He started taking the league seriously from the very first game.
Well, Messi's the utmost professional, right? And there have been questions constantly about superstars arriving to Major League Soccer and their craft kind of becoming dull. But Messi has stayed sharp. He stayed so sharp that he has made this unbalanced team, for the most part, be the best team in Major League Soccer. Understand that Inter Miami, for the large majority of the 2025 Major League Soccer season, felt top-heavy. That it was just Suarez and the rest of the Barça boys, and then you had Rodrigo de Paul, shambolic defensively, not composed, fullbacks that weren't at that level, not Jordi Alba, but I'm talking about Chelo Weigand, Tenian Frey, then the center backs, Falcon, Toto Avilés couldn't get on the field. It was a problem that perhaps looked like it could be a detriment to the team.
Yeah.
But it wasn't, and because Messi was so dominant, he definitely feels like this title is another important trophy in the story of his legacy.
And you could tell how big it was, Tony, for Sergio Busquets, Jordi Alba, who are now officially retired after that. You could tell that it meant a lot to them.
You were there. What was it like?
I was about to say, I was in the stadium, and when that third goal went in, Busquets and Alba both broke down. They couldn't even celebrate. Alba was on the ground crying. Mascherano jumped on the field, ran over, jumped on him. I was amazed, but this was the sentiment the entire game. You could tell from a Busquets and Alba, and I thought, by the way, Busquets was outstanding in the game, in the middle of the field. I mean, he broke pressure the entire game, just like we'd seen him back in his heyday, but it meant something to them. There was an edge to this team through the playoffs, and we were stood at this wall. Nico, I was with you at this wall a couple of weeks ago when Busquets made the announcement, and then surprisingly, Jordi Alba made the announcement, and we said this could galvanize this group a little bit, and it almost seemed like a rallying cry, like, okay, we want to send these two legends out with a trophy. Of course, Messi wants to win everything, right? And I think what you saw throughout this playoffs was last year we were embarrassed by a team that should not have beaten us. If we want to be winners, we got to win everywhere. Doesn't matter if I'm in La Liga, in Champions League, in MLS. They came here. The project is finalized in this phase for me that they won this trophy. Now they got to move on. They've got to make this team better. The owner, Jorge Mas, said immediately after the game, he was asked, Jeff, what's next? He said he's called Champions Cup, right? That's what he wants to win CONCACAF Champions Cup. That's the next thing. He wants to be the best team in this region. They got some work to do that.
New stadium. It feels like we are hitting a new era of Inter Miami. Like whatever comes next is going to be Inter Miami 2.0. Yes, I think it's, like you said, it's the perfect bookend to this first chapter that ends in,
Well, it begs the obvious question, though. If they are going to rebuild in future years, there's one very big hole that's going to appear, and who do they replace him with?
Right, but in the immediacy, I don't think that's their issue right now. For sure, you need to be thinking in the long term. You need to have vision, because any project post-Messi feels like will regress. I mean, look at Barcelona, how long it took them to get over that Messi-sized hole that was left. But in the immediacy, they need to address go get your striker. Who's going to be your defensive mid that's going to be able to relieve pressure like that in one touch can give you a through ball and change of pace, change of game from a almost standing position, right? In Busquets, Jordi Alba. Jordi Alba was fantastic. I mean, in this playoff specifically, he didn't look like he was about to retire. He looked like a fresh 20-something-year-old, you know?
Well, we did get from Jorge Mas after the match. They already have a replacement for Busquets. They already have a replacement for Jordi Alba. And he smiled and said, and we have one DP spot available, with a big grin on his face, right? Which allows them.
Did you get any names for us, Tom?
No, I didn't get any. But we're going to find out soon, I think, Geoff, because this team is the one thing this team, congratulations to them, deserved winners. The one thing they are doing, Geoff, is they're pushing the league forward. They're forcing other owners to say, you know what, you're going to have to go out and spend some money and bring good players in if you're going to compete with us.
That was definitely what happened with this MLS Cup, because before then you could say they hadn't won MLS Cup yet. So, because you said now it forces the pressure on other clubs. And it's like, okay, well, they can get it done with that. So now it really does raise the bar for other MLS
Yeah,
clubs.
no doubt. But let's look at the other side. You can still build a roster. Look at Vancouver, what they did.
Yeah.
They don't spend a ton of money. And by the way, 30th minute or so of that game, stadium was silent. Vancouver took over this game. They deserved to win, or you thought they deserved to win. One turnover to Messi, and he plays a through ball. Game over. Inter Miami wins.
So such a shame for Vancouver.
Yeah, they'll kick themselves, but it just goes to show there is another way to build a roster in this league. You got to be prudent in doing that, and you have to have a really good scouting system.
To Inter Miami's professionalism, I saw something there I've never seen before. I've never seen in all my decades of watching football. I have never seen before. Because teams, when they go into a game, they can win a trophy or they win the league. Somebody very quietly in the background will have had T-shirts printed, with winners, so they can put them on straight away on the pitch. Mm-hmm. And the players won't talk about it, and you never see them until the actual moment. Did you notice in the dressing room, they had all plastic sheeting up and all plastic sheeting on the floor to protect their clothes and protect the floor from the champagne and the booze?
Welcome to America, Geoff.
I've never seen that before in my life.
This is every winning
They plan
team.
that ahead of time.
Oh, no, it is a long-standing tradition in English football that when afterwards the players come out in their suits, they absolutely reek of booze. They stink because everything has been ruined.
Oh, they planned that ahead of time, Geoff.
I'm impressed.
Standard in the Chicago Bulls locker room. It's like the first thing I think of, with the plastic all over the dressing rooms all over in American sports.
Hang on. I'm just right. Item number 422, things Geoff has learned about America.
Quick story. We were not the favorites in 2000 somehow against the LA Galaxy in the Western Conference Final. We win the game. We go back to our dressing room. No champagne, no plastic, because they put it in the LA Galaxy dressing room.
Oh,
they
love
already
that.
thought we were going to win. So there you have it, Geoff.
I bet it tasted even sweeter then.
It did.
Did they send it across?
They did. We eventually got it, but it took about an hour to get it, and we celebrated after that.
That's when you go into their locker room and you celebrate in their locker room.
How'd you like those
Everything
apples?
is set up.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching this video from Morning Footy. For all news and insights regarding leagues around the world like EFL, Serie A, and all UEFA competitions, both men's and women's, don't forget to sign up for Paramount Plus.